you ever tried to give instructions in the workplace and wondered why it seems nobody pays attention? Giving directions in the workplace can be a difficult task to do. Well, some don't like to be bossy, and others seem like nobody's listening. Well, I'm here to talk to you about the different ways you can give directions and different things you can keep in mind while giving them. Be polite. Please and thank you can go a long way. Your tone of voice is another thing to keep in mind. You don't want to yell, but you can't whisper either. So make sure that you enunciate and have your voice loud enough. Be specific. Give directions in detail. Make sure that the task you want completed is done in the correct way. Sometimes, if somebody knows why they're doing something or what it is for, it helps them get it done and gives them a sense of pride. If there's a certain way things need to be done, make sure you tell them and tell them the importance of it. That can help someone remember too. Questions and concerns. Allow for people to ask you questions about the directions you were giving. And at the end of your directions, ask, does anybody have questions or concerns? Sometimes asking if anybody has questions throughout you giving directions can help too, just in case they forget the question by the end. If nobody has any questions, make yourself available to them and for them to come see you with their questions. They may simply forget, or they may be too embarrassed to ask a question. Body language. Along with your tone of voice, you want to have good body language. Stand up straight, don't slouch or slump. It's not only more presentable, but it would also help you project your tone of voice when you're speaking to a large group. Show emotion. Sometimes it's hard to show emotion when speaking at work. You don't need to show so much emotion that is too dramatic, but you want to show a little emotion so it shows that you care. And a lot of times, if you show that you care, others will too. They will see that it is important, and that can also be a good link when you are being specific. Know your audience. There are many different types of generations in the workplace these days, and many of them learn and complete tasks differently. So if you have a workplace that has many different generations, make sure that you acknowledge that and that there's going to be a difference. Know that no generation is right or wrong, and no generation is better than the other. Remember that while the older generations are used to coming into work and getting the job done, the youth entering the workforce is motivated by praise and guidance. Encouraging employees to communicate with each other and not dislike each other because of the age difference. Good communications amongst employees is a great thing to have. Let them know that they may help each other and teach each other, and that it is perfectly fine. Sometimes a younger person may have an easier way of doing something, or an older person may have more experience and can show and help the younger one learn. Encourage them to work as teams. Due dates. Make sure when you give directions, you also give a due date or a deadline. Avoid using the word soon, because it can be far too vague, as soon may mean 3 days from now to you. It can mean a week from now to someone else. So giving a due date or time that you would like the task completed by shows a sense of importance or urgency. Examples. Sometimes when speaking, it is easier to have a graph or a visual to go off of. The visual might show the end outcome that you would like to see, or it might show that the positives that will come along with the task being accomplished. Sometimes with people having a visual to go along with directions, it makes it easier for them to see why it isn't so important to complete. Again, when giving directions in the workplace, stand up straight and allow your voice to be at a good volume. Be specific on what you would like done and when you would like it done by. Acknowledge the different generations in the workplace, but encourage them to communicate and help each other. Have examples if possible. It helps to show the importance of the task being completed, and always allow for questions and concerns to be addressed. And if there are none at that time, make sure you make yourself available for them to come to you with any. So while giving directions in the workplace can be a difficult task to do, if you follow these simple steps, it make it a whole lot easier and more effective.